Hello and welcome. This is Politics Today. I am Deji Badimasi. It's been about 24 hours now since Nigeria marked her 51st independence anniversary. But the major talking point of the anniversary is the style, if you like, in which we marked the event. For the very first time in a very, very long while, the traditional independence celebration did not take place at Eagle Square. As you can see there, if we have that shot now, as you can see, Eagle Square was virtually empty. I personally cannot remember. That's Eagle Square, you can see. Virtually empty. Honestly, virtually empty. This was on the day the country was celebrating her 51st independence anniversary. The flag's flying there. Nothing happening at all. I personally have never seen Eagle Square like that before on Independence Day. Really surprising. Really surprising. Can't remember when this ever happened since Abuja became the federal capital territory of the country. But there you are, Eagle Square on Independence Day. Totally deserted. Traffic around the square was also restricted. Now the question is, could this be the result of the threat issued by the militant group meant to detonate bombs during the celebration? Days before the anniversary, the group had issued a statement warning people to stay away from Eagle Square, threatening it was going to plant and detonate explosives around the area on the day of the celebration. Last year, the group issued a similar threat and carried it out, killing at least about 12 persons in the process. Perhaps the government was not willing to take any chance at all this time. But then, doesn't this mean the government is bowing to the threat of MEND? Not to mention radical Islamic sect Boko Haram, which though did not issue any threat, but is capable of causing big problem, as we saw in the August 26th UN House bombing in Abuja. That's the big question my guest will be attempting to answer on the program tonight. By the way, the Independence Day celebration did in fact take place, I should say, but it was at the forecourt of the presidential villa. The explanation we've heard from the government is that it decided to make it a low-key affair after the substantial amount of money spent on the 50th anniversary last year. Our State House correspondent, Chukwuma Onukwusi, caught the low-key event for us. Low-key, I call it. And here's his report.
October 1st, Independence Anniversary, usually brings out the best in the Nigerian army. From the march past to the salute to the stamping of fate, everything is done with fanfare. The difference here is that away from the Eagle Square, away from the Tafawa Balewa Square, where we won the independence 51 years ago, the federal government, because of the low-key nature of this event, chose the forecourt at the presidential villa to celebrate.
President Goodluck Jonathan mounted the podium for only the national anthem, after which he retired under the canopy with other special guests, which included the First Lady, the Vice President and his wife, the Senate President and his wife, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, ministers of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, as well as members of the diplomatic corps. They watched as the two guards of honor, mounted by the military, performed the ceremony more in a very solemn manner. That dawn, President Goodluck Jonathan signed the register about his impression on the day's parade. He was joined by former President Shehu Shagari, General Yakubu Gowon, as well as the Vice President and other special guests to cut the anniversary cake. There was also the release of the symbolic pigeons by the President. Some of the special guests give their impression on Nigeria at 51. Those who missed the fanfare associated with Independence Day say the variation from what used to be may not be entirely wrong.
We should not be worried about threats by people who are against peace. we are sure that in the end, those who do that may regret it.
No matter whatever happens, let them believe in the unity and success and progress of Nigeria, of their country. It is they that will make sure that there is safety and security for the country.
Nigeria gained her independence from Britain in 1960. 51 years later, many say the situation has not been rosy compared to the pre-independence era. Concerned Nigerians call on all hands to be on deck with the government if the country must enjoy all-round freedom. Chukuma Onwekusi, Channels Television News.
Well, there you saw it. I mean, I've never seen that kind of independence celebration before, at least not since I became an adult and became very aware. Now we're going to show you, earlier we showed you what actually took place at Eagle Square, but we're now going to show you what Abuja looked like on the day we were celebrating our independence. So what we did not show you is the mood in the Federal Capital Territory, even though we showed you what Eagle Square looked like. Lanre Lasisi, our correspondent, went about town in the nation's capital to tell us what the capital looked like on Independence Day. Take a look at this.
Empty streets and security checks in the nation's capital, Abuja. Authorities stepped up security across the city on a day the nation marks the 51st independence anniversary.
We're moving around, just that the security situation has been stepped up in Abuja. At least today I think I've been searched by about 3 times on the road. You just move and you get to the corner, you just see military or police and they tell you park, open your boots, frisk you and let you go.
It's like a ghost town, and for that image I am not sure I'm very happy about it. I'm not happy because this is the day when people should come out and celebrate. This is the day when people should come out and be grateful to God, rather than being back inside.
The Eagle Square, the usual venue for Independence Anniversary, was bare, except for the national flags.
Usually for this anniversary, this place would be filled with Nigerians celebrating, with parades, flags waving, children marching proudly, but not this anniversary.
The security checks were also at some fun spots in the city. Even these areas were empty.
Because of some warnings here and there, some people said they will donate and some of all these things. So people are scared. So that is why it's like the whole place is empty.
It is very, very disappointing. It's Independence Day. We're supposed to be having fun, being happy. But you come to a park and find people sleeping. It's not normal.
The residents, however, say Nigerians should be optimistic and celebrate the 51st independence.
I still came out today because I felt I owe Nigeria. I am owing Nigeria to come out. It's my country, and today is the 51st birthday. Why should I be at home sleeping?
I thank God for our nation, Nigeria. And what is happening is not common to Nigeria. It is a sign of growth. It's a process of growth. So that is the way I see it. So people shouldn't be scared, as a matter of fact. We should be proud of our nation. We should celebrate. It's not easy.
So quietly, residents of the federal capital city mark the independence anniversary. Lanre Lasisi, Channels Television News.